Welcome to, what are we, 1 month in at Residence?
Yeah, what episode are we up to? Episode
11-ish. Welcome to the stairwell behind the kitchen at Residence in the Potter Museum of Art. Where are we up to? We're just chatting a bit about, we've been doing lots of budget stuff, so working with our bookkeeper on where we're up to and what we need to do to kind of keep the wheels on. And it's been a really good first month. It's been really busy, really well received. We have enjoyed the majority of it. We're doing quite a broad cross-section of things in the one space, and that's been a real challenge. We kind of knew that going in.
We only had an idea of what it was going to be before we had the chef.
Yeah.
I think all of it had to be then, we'd have to find that out after the chef started cooking
reverse
food.
engineer it afterwards.
Yeah, like instead of going, cool, we've got the chef, we're going to go for fine dining, we're chasing 2 hats, this is what we need, this is the team we need. We've gone, we've got a venue, we've got a chef, let's find out what the food looks like, and it's all kind of happening on the fly. So that's why this first month has been a lot of us kind of feeling out what Robbie's food's like, the standard of service he is really chasing for.
I think for the most part, we're actually kind of still really singing true to what we originally thought.
I think so too.
And you push the edges of it, but you end up coming kind of back to where you thought it was going to be.
But I think it's just different when you've got someone that's just doing the chef in residence for 12 months.
I also think that's the layer of the gallery on top of a restaurant. So normally you open the doors of a restaurant and you're just talking to your people who are coming in to see you and the things that you do. But we're in this space where people are coming into the gallery and wanting to kind of engage with us by virtue of us being here, not knowing that we're here and how does this work and what are you, which has been awesome because trade's been really strong. If you have people coming, they've seen your Instagram, they've seen your kind of marketing push and they've seen what you're about, they kind of have an idea and they come in with that expectation. Whereas this other dynamic has been really, it's just been really interesting.
But the same thing happens with our team, right? So we're hiring staff members that are industry professionals that want to be serving the best food and the best booze, but they also have to be this chaperone of the space and educated on the gallery and also kind of half working in a cafe. So nothing about it is simple or straightforward. It's like you kind of need to be this and a bit of this and also a bit of this, if that's all right.
Yeah.
We're asking a lot of our team
Yeah.
to be able to kind of cover all these bases.
You can think out a space, you can think out how a venue is going to work to the nth degree, and then it's only when you get into the space that you actually go, this actually, the glassware needs to be here, the cutlery needs to be there, service needs to run from this section. For the most part, the meat and bones of it was pretty much bang on to what we kind of originally thought. But just the nuances and the finesse of all the little bits takes time, and you have to figure that out. And that's why everyone's always like, oh, I'll give them a week or 2 to figure out what they're doing.
And then the big one for us is budgeting. So what we originally thought our budget was going to be to operate the space to a point where what people call break even, where you're not making money or losing money, but you're still surviving, has shifted pretty substantially to keep up with what the standard that we want to offer across the board, but also for such a large percentage of the day, because we're doing effectively 3 services. We're doing a morning, a lunch, and a dinner. Yeah, again, we had budgeted an X amount of dollars, and we were that was a pretty good target, I think, and now we're realizing it's a little bit more, but
you just have to be ready for that. I think you just have to go in and go, there just is this kind of buffer of cream that you just have to kind of figure out what you're doing, because you can't go into it clipping its wings before it's even really got a chance to fly. And that's the thing, you've got to be able to push it to the edges of what it can do. Otherwise, people will only ever accept you in this smaller version of yourself. And that's the thing that I think is really tricky in the beginning, because you've got to have that extra little bit of cash flow, extra little bit of like buffer to kind of allow yourself room to do that, which we've been fortunate enough to have a little bit of room with that. And so we're figuring that out. And I think just anyone who's kind of looking to open a place, know that like, you've just got to have a little bit extra to kind of make sure it works. Yeah.
Also having the guests that have dined with us in the first month without their support and without them coming in and engaging in the space, even in that period where we're still finding our feet, accept some failures, knowing that it's a new business. Without people like that, you'd be fucked.
Every patron is valuable. Everyone gives us something back and gives us some feedback, but also like contributes to the next day. It's like we can do it tomorrow because we've got people coming in today. You're just getting little nuances of feedback on everything, and you have to kind of be able to open to and able to listen to every little piece and go, we can modify that.
Yeah, it's got to be this balance between your dream and what they want.
Yeah. Oh, it's little things. It'll be like, I don't know, like
It's like what you're offering Win a lot of the time. You know,
Yeah.
like they come in on a Saturday and we're just doing pastries. And they're like, hey man, you should have this available.
Yeah.
And it just sparks a conversation. Or between 4 and 6 when we're open, but the kitchen's closed. What can we utilize that's already in existence in the space that feels like it's meant to be?
Yeah.
Because there's nothing worse than getting something that just feels like all the leftover bits from everywhere else. So it needs to feel like it fits. It needs to feel like it's of a standard that works with what we're already doing. It's been inherently positive.
Oh, it's been really good. Like it's kind of like, I think it's about as smooth as an opening can go, really. Like we just have had, the systems have kind of fallen into line really quickly. We have had such great buy-in from our team, and they're really like working with us on solving the problems. Like from the get-go, like everyone's thinking
The
with us.
systems only work because the team have adopted them and made them their own, you know? Put out all these thoughts and processes and like, this is the structure and this is the sequence of service, but if the team aren't in it to win it with you and implementing those, then they're redundant. So it's only the team that have made it what we've got at the moment.
Across the board.
Part of this process, like the videos, meant we were thinking about it really early on because we were forced to talk about this stuff. Whereas when you're opening a business, you're worrying about all the other stuff and there's very few moments where you get to stop and actually just like think about something and talk about it together.
And recenter on what you're doing.
Like I went back and watched the videos again and was like, right, that's what we were talking about. And I think it's a healthy reminder, like, well, you were saying you were going to do this, but what are we actually doing? And are we sitting with Robbie and talking about finance? Are we talking about his future? Are we talking about what he does after here?
Yeah.
And after watching those, I'm like, we need to have these conversations or else we're just full of shit, you know? Like, and the last thing I want is just come across like just touting all this rhetoric and then doing none of it. Like it has to have flow through.
And it's good to be held accountable, and it's nice to have this record to be like, this is what you said you're going to do.
You did say you were going to do
so
this.
you're going to have to do this.
And we've already started talking about what Robbie's plans are at the end of his time. Like we need to be thinking about the future now. It can't all just be like the next menu or next weekend or next day.
Not being reactive, being kind of seeing the whole year or even 10 years as a platform that we're working towards. I think the other thing to kind of be said is that you can't get all of it right, and like you just have to kind of understand the bits you're not getting right and make them better. You just get buried in it, and so sometimes you need to just remind yourself, what's the next step? How do we improve on what we were doing yesterday? It's this next step, and yeah, I think it's just making it better every day is the key.
Take the time to discuss the change you want to make sure everyone's on the same page, but then action that change quickly. Having a conversation and coming to an agreement on what that problem is and how to fix it,
And then just action.
and then implementing that change as quickly as possible. So then even if it doesn't work, you can change it again. And I think a big part of this chat is because we're kind of still waiting for the uni students to come back. Like this, we've had this limbo where we're like, cool, so do we think we should change this? And it's like, well, it seems irrational to change something now if we're going to have to change it again in 2 weeks when we've got 40,000 students on campus. So we've had to play this patience game where it's like every part of me wants to be like productive and change stuff all the time. But then it's also like, okay, cool. Well, let's talk through this process and talk through what you want to change and think about whether we may have to change it back again when this gets busy.
Because we haven't had the uni, so we've had sort of like 5 weeks of trade, or we haven't had the uni here. There is 40,000 people about to land on our doorstep and be like, what do you do here? It's been good to kind of hold out for that moment to be like, what does it actually look like while they're here? They're only here for 26 weeks of the year. So we've got this like real seesaw kind of service of flow of people where we've got a really good trade of people coming in to see us in the gallery. And so that'll hold us steady through those periods. But we also need to know what that hibernation looks like and how we kind of mold to that so we don't just like bleed on wages and stock while we're, and be really sharp on, all right, we're not going to have uni students as of tomorrow. What are we doing to kind of make that work? In our first couple of weeks, we were just like, I was over here, you're over there. We're figuring all these bits out. I've obviously got other things floating about as well. And so important that we talk and we're on the same page and we're making those decisions, because when we talk, we can make that decision now and it changes tomorrow. I guess that's kind of it. That was a pretty serious chat. Where are all the jokes? For the bants,
Yeah,
The restaurant is serious business.
It's serious business, but I'm just really enjoying how...
I'm just really enjoying it, man.
Just really am enjoying the kind of how how good the first weeks have been. We've been really lucky. I feel very blessed.
Yeah,
so
thank
thank everyone for coming in. Thanks to our team for working so hard with us. Yeah,
Thanks to the uni, thanks to the Potter Museum.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride, but it has felt really
Jesus.
smooth. Cheeses, we love cheeses. Thank you Gouda, thank you Comte, thank you aged cheddar, all of the cheeses.
Thank you, baby cheeses.
Kath and Kim goes
Mary
a long
Bell
way.
cheese.
Yeah.